The man accused of murdering Grace Millane told the police he sobbed and vomited as he put her body into a suitcase the day after she died in his apartment. Video footage of the 27-year-old man's second police interview has been played to the jury today as his trial in the High Court in Auckland continues. In the interview, the accused breaks down as he backtracks on his initial story, admitting he buried Ms Millane's body in a shallow grave in the Waitakere Ranges. Our reporter Sarah Robson is covering the case and filed this story.
The man accused of murdering Grace Millane had been interviewed by the police once before, on December the 6th, 5 days after the British backpacker was last seen in central Auckland. In that interview, he told Detective Sergeant Ewan Settle he and Ms Millane had parted ways about 8 o'clock the night of her disappearance. But when he was brought in for questioning again 2 days later, he changed his story.
Tell me what happened last Saturday.
From the beginning?
Yeah.
The accused canvassed the details of their Tinder date, meeting up at Sky City, talking and drinking at a couple of bars.
We kept talking about life, we kept talking about other people. Most of the time we were sitting there, we were just kissing. I think we were both into each other.
He said they were both quite drunk.
I remember leaving Bluestone. The next thing I remember after that is being in the room with Grace.
Up in his apartment, he said Ms Millane started talking about the erotic novel 50 Shades of Grey and things she liked doing during sex. He said they had rough sex, which included some choking, and took pictures of each other. He then went and had a shower.
And then all I remember is falling asleep in the shower. And then waking up, it would have been, can't remember exactly when it was, but it was still dark. I crawled back into bed. Initially I thought Grace had left.
When he woke up several hours later, he described what he found.
I saw that she was lying on the floor. I saw that she had blood coming from her nose. I screamed, I yelled out at her, and I tried to move her to see if she was awake. I need to stop. I need to go.
After a short break, he continued his story.
I didn't believe what had happened. I was just terrified and scared.
That morning he went out and bought a suitcase. When he returned to his apartment, he didn't know what to do and said he tried to overdose on his medication. He said it didn't seem right to put Ms Millane's body in the bag. He went out again and bought cleaning products and met a friend at a bar in Ponsonby. When he returned to the City Life Hotel, he struggled to describe what he did next.
I spewed up a few times because I couldn't put Grace in the bag. Because all I could think about was what we shared the night before.
He broke down again as he talked about what he did.
I put her in the bag. And the whole time I just kept saying, I'm sorry.
The accused said he put the suitcase in the back of a rental car he had picked up. The next day he got up early and headed to West Auckland, where he bought a shovel at a hardware store.
I didn't know where to go. I ended up driving towards the Waitakeres.
The man described pulling over in an area of bush near a reservoir.
I went into the bush, I dug a hole. And I sat there
He said he tried to overdose again.
I went and got the suitcase and I put it in the hole and I covered the hole.
Detective Sergeant Ewan Settle asked if he called for help when he discovered Ms Millane's body on his apartment floor.
I dialed 111, but I didn't hit the button because I was scared how bad it looked.
Why did you think it looked bad?
Well, there's a dead person in my room.
He told the police he tried to clean up the blood on the floor and that he dumped Ms Millane's belongings, including her clothes, in a rubbish bin in Albert Park. At this stage, the police didn't know exactly where her body was buried.
Our understanding is that you're going to be potentially in a position to go and show us where Grace is. Is that correct?
Yeah.
At the end of the interview, Detective Sergeant Ewan Settle asks the man this question.
Did you kill Grace Millane? Okay. You're under arrest for the murder of Grace Millane on or about the 2nd of December.
The man's lawyer, Ian Brookie, asked him whether he had intended to kill Ms Millane. He replied that he hadn't. Mr Brookie also asked his client why he didn't tell this story when he first spoke to the police.
Because of her family. Because I want her family to know that it wasn't intentional. But I also want her family to have closure.
Mō te hōtaka o te ahi ko Sarah Robson, aho.